why people want me to talk about this as if it's something newsworthy, but fine. I got people on Subscribestar that are asking me. And by the way, if you haven't and you want to support the channel, do go on Subscribestar. And if you have certain requests, certain topics that you want me to cover, I do it. I do it because I'm your bitch. I'm not like a game journalist that just like talks about whatever they want. No, I talk about what you guys want to listen. So, one of the requests that I got is to discuss the issue that Steam is warning customers that they're only buying a license when paying for a game, and that you actually don't own the game. And a lot of gamers are now Pikachu face, and they're like, oh, well, so we need to jump ship. It's like Steam is evil. But the thing that I don't understand is, like, where was this conversation like 5 years ago? Because, like, at the time, maybe you could have changed something. It's usually how it works with these things, like companies will try something that is not necessarily consumer friendly, and if you put up with it, then it's like a tacit agreement. And if you try to change it like 5 years down the line, well, good luck, but so many things are incorporated into that new change that it's almost impossible to reverse it. However, I already talked about this for years, and I was pointing out, the only reason that Steam is a good product is because Gabe is the one leading it. But as soon as Gabe passes away, if you're going to get like some rainbow-haired feminist in charge of Steam that's going to be more interested in social engineering and harvesting your personal information and your data rather than giving you a good platform and a good experience, yeah, you're in for some treat. All you need to do is like some rainbow feminist that's going to start policing people's speech and making sure that the people who create video games create them based on the terms of service. Because by the way, like right now, that's the thing. Like if you want to be a game developer and you want to sell your game on Steam, there's a lot of terms of service that you need to agree. Like one of them is no hate speech. And it's very ambiguous. Like what does that mean? So like, is South Park the video game allowed? Is Postal the video game allowed? Is Manhunt the video game allowed? GTA has the N-word. Is that allowed? And the answer is yes, because they don't actually enforce the rules. But if you were to have like someone that's social justice oriented and they're like looking at those games, they may just ban them, right? So like Steam has a lot of power to influence the entire gaming industry. They just choose not to do it. They just choose to be profitable. But if push comes to shove, yeah, they can start banning a lot of games. I remember there was a game, and Steam chose not to ban it, despite the fact that there was a lot of outrage. But you got to play like a Hamas member, and you were attacking the IDF. And a lot of journalists were freaking out about it. It's like, why is this game allowed to exist? And the game itself didn't have like that many downloads. But again, like the very fact that it existed, it was like an affront to the journalist. And Steam chose not to step in. Right? And you can have like other games that have like different themes, and there's a lot of shovelware where the developer just wants to make a statement. And most of the time, Steam just chooses not to enforce the TOS, but like this is a lot more serious than the fact that you don't own your games. It's the fact that most games, most indie games that want to publish and they want to sell the product, they have to go on Steam and they have to abide by Steam's TOS. And under Gabe, the TOS is very loose. Like if you actually read the list, it looks bad. But they're not enforcing and they're allowing for creativity to flourish on the platform. I don't know how long that will last, right? So this is another conversation that no one brings up. But okay, fine. Let's talk about the fact that you don't own your game. We knew this. Like any day, it can happen. Every company eventually goes bankrupt, right? Like there's no company that lasts for thousands of years. Like there's going to be a point where Steam is going to shut down its servers. What do you think happens with your games? Right? Like, if you can't connect to their server, what do you think happens? If you lose access to your internet, what do you think happens with the games? It's like, not rocket science, right? But the thing is, like, people wanted this. They wanted this because they got convenience. And it's a lot more convenient to just go anywhere and download the game library from wherever you are than to actually have physical discs. And this is the reality of the situation. And I gotta say, like Steam at least tries to be more consumer friendly. Like they're doing stuff that they don't have to. One of the things that I heard they're doing is that if you pass away, you can actually give your library of games to someone else from the family, or that You can have like certain features where you share your games library with your family. They don't have to do this, but they are. And I gotta say, all things considered, it's not so bad. But if you compare it to Sony, like Jesus Christ, like the thing with Sony is that if you look at Concord, and I'm surprised that this went under the radar, when Concord was shot down, they actually went and deleted the thing from people's machines. Now, obviously, it's a program that you don't need, right? Like, Concord is meant to be played in multiplayer, and if the server shut down, you can't play it, so, like, you're going to delete it anyway. But, like, why is Sony deleting it? Like, the very fact that they have the ability to get onto your machine and delete stuff that you have is very concerning. Like, I don't want that. Again, it tells you that you don't actually own the thing. Like, what if someone just wanted to have it as a collector's thing? Like, Concord goes down, and let's assume that they wouldn't have reopened it. Right? So, like, Concord goes down, and you would be, like, one of the few people that has a PlayStation that actually has Concord on it. You don't know if that's not going to get some collector's value in the future. Like, probably not, but, like 20, 30 years from now, like, someone has a PlayStation with the Concord thing in it, maybe it will be worth something to someone. But no, you can't do that because Sony decides to delete it from your own PlayStation. And it just goes to show that they can do whatever they want. If it's not physical, if you don't have it in your house, it's not yours. If it's on someone else's server, if it's on the cloud, it's not yours. There was even an American writer. She was writing erotica. I don't know the type of erotica she was writing, but apparently she was somewhat famous. And she was Pikachu face when Google Docs deleted 200,000 words of her next novel because it had pornography. Now, had she read the terms of service of Google Docs, she would know that, yeah, you're not allowed to have it. But she was surprised because she thought that it's hers. It's on her machine, it's on her private account, etc., etc. Until she came to grips with reality and found out that, no, actually, it's not yours. Everything that's on the cloud, everything that's not on your hard drive is not yours. And even on your hard drive, it's starting to get to a point where I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft is going to say, yeah, actually, if you're using Windows, we actually own the shit you're having. I mean, what was it? Photoshop? Photoshop was the one that did that, right? Like, again, you gotta pay subscription. It's not really the program that you can install and have it. And they were basically saying that, yeah, everything that's on Photoshop, we have access to as well. So basically, if they want to train AI and scrape the data from your computer, they can. Doesn't matter if you work on Disney, doesn't matter if you work with an NDA or something like that. No. Like, they can do it. People were upset. And their stocks went down. I don't know what happened with that if they backtrack the changes. But this is what every single company is trying to accomplish. It's trying to get you to pay a monthly subscription so that they can harvest data from you and so that they can enforce their TOS and moderation team up your ass. And they can force you to start doing things in a certain way that they think it's moral and appropriate. You're not allowed to decide your morality for yourself anymore. Multi-million-dollar corporations should groom you into being a better person. So, yeah, I'm not surprised about this. It's just like, I'm bewildered that gamers are shocked. It's like, well, what did you expect? What did you think would happen? Like, we already know that you don't own the shit. You just have a license for it. Yeah, well, now people know. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.